Hey, you right, guys. Trophy Munchers Joe here, and today we are watching and reacting to episode 18 of Shadowhunters season 2. We are very close to the end of season 2, and then we can get straight into season 3. Like I said, I'm not going to wait any time. But, dude, it's been so good. It's been so good, and you guys have just let me know that this episode, I think you said episode 18, it was 18 or 19, but I think it was episode 18, is like a fan favorite. It's one of your guys' favorite episodes of all of Shadowhunters. So I'm gonna lower my expectations. I'm not gonna go with like high expectations or anything, but I am excited. I'm a little bit excited and curious why that may be. And yeah, so there's 3 episodes left of this season, and then there's 10. I think there's 10 of season 3 so far. So 13 episodes to go before we get into 3B, which I don't know when that's airing. That's all over the place, so we'll see when that is. But we'll definitely be caught up by then, I can imagine. And then we'll take on another show. But dude, I'm so excited for this episode. So if you enjoy, remember to leave a like. If you're new, remember to subscribe. And if you do want the full Encore reaction to this episode, as well as all the other reactions to Shadowhunters, and to help support the channel, a link to the Patreon page will be down below, as well as Twitter and Instagram if you want to follow me on there, and Discord if you want to join that and talk about Shadowhunters with myself and others. But for now, my friends, let's go. I so want to give this a 10 out of 10, but there's like still a couple of things that I didn't like here, so that's so annoying because I think I wanted to give this a 10 out of 10. I can't do a 10 out of 10. But that is so close, dude. Oh no. There's just a couple of things that still wasn't. Okay, yeah. Dude, that episode was that was my favourite Shadowhunters episode. You guys won't mind. That was so good. I'll get this couple of things I didn't like out the way. One, I don't care much for this kid being turned into a wolf. I liked everything that was going on around that. I just didn't care much for the kid turning into a wolf. It's just like, okay, new character. And it just seemed to happen very randomly. It's like some of Luke's pack acted out again because it's happened for the 10th time, and now we've got a kid who's a wolf. It's like, okay, fine. And then the other thing was, I think it was very on the nose and obvious throughout the episode. Like everything they were saying, oh, Jonathan's in the building. Jonathan could be anywhere. Jonathan this, Jonathan that. And he's like there the whole time. It's like, come on. I'm glad Clary figured it out at the end, but it didn't have to be so in your face about it. Like, oh, yeah, I really heard that if he holds his stone, he'll scream in pain because of the demon blood. It's like, come on now. Other than that, they were the only 2 things that I'm like, a bit on it. It's like, I can't give it a 10 out of 10 just because of those couple of things. But other than that, everything else was just flawless. It was so good. Shall we start with Alec and Magnus, or shall we? The main reason is because of Alec and Magnus. They nailed it this episode. Absolutely destroyed. They were so good. They were the best. Relationship wise, it's not the best they've been, but this is the best episode those two have had. Not because it had like the happy ending and like I kind of thought they'd like get back together and all this at the end, even though they never really broke up. They actually broke up at the end of the episode. Not because of that, just because it was so well integrated with the flashbacks, and Magnus is like in a dilemma of what to do with the situation, whether to choose his people and like being a leader or love, like, or for Alec basically. And when he just said it, I'm like, I can't have both. It's like, dude. And Alec's voice when he's like, yes, you can. It was just like, he was so hurt by that. Oh, my God. I like that, though. It feels, a lot of times, teen dramas, they break up, a relationship breaks up because they've run out of ideas to do what to do with them. And it's like, oh, we'll have them break up and then we'll have, like, the next few episodes being them getting back together or something. Arya and Ezra, I'm looking at you. But it's like, this felt like such a genuine, like, you can really see Magnus's point of view in this situation of him. He's always had that dilemma of him wanting to be a leader, and like, even though we don't really see him with his people, we know he's been around for like thousands of years, so it's like he's always he's always going to have those people, and we saw that in the earlier episodes of season one. So I think him like breaking up with Alec here feels necessary. I don't want it to happen. Like, and they'll get back together, sure, and like they'll be fine. But it feels like they're broken up for the purpose of the story, not breaking up for the purpose of oh, we've run out of ideas, so we'll just have them break up or something like that. Because that's how it feels with a lot of shows where this felt like it needed to happen. So yeah, the whole while I don't like it, like I hate them not being apart. I think it was so well done. I loved it. And then like talking about the flashbacks, we had three flashbacks. The first one when it's like, oh, I should never let stay around for drinks, and instantly I just thought the bit where he gives him the glass. I can't remember if it's the one where he like summoned the glass in his hand or whatever, but season one, when he gave him the glass and stuff, it was just like, oh, I can't remember exactly what episode it was, but I know the scene. I know the scene of when it happened is when he's about to leave, and then he's like, "Do you want to stay for a drink?" That was perfect. And then the second flashback was, I'm guessing the first time they had sex. I might be wrong. I think it was the first time they did. And then his eyes like changed and looked away, and he's all like, when he said, "You're beautiful," oh my god, dude, that was so good. That gave me chills. And then yeah, and the music that was playing in that scene was beautiful. And then the third flashback was sat in bed, and then when he was like, "Tell me what you're afraid of." I think it was that part where he said, "Tell me what you're afraid of." And then when he referenced back to that, when he broke up with him, he said, "You always told me what." You asked me. I can't remember exactly what he said, but it's like, "You asked me what I was afraid of, and it was this." Oh, the script, dude. The way they're just, oh, the words, the way it was all linked. I loved it. Just the parallels. I put down like the parallels with the Malik flashbacks and stuff. But like, I think, well, they were holding hands, and then it cut to them like holding hands, but it's like just the different emotions of like why they're holding hands and stuff. Like, I hope you know which scene I'm on about. It's like the flashback ended where they were holding hands in bed, and then it cut to him holding his Alex's hand like being there for him because of Max, basically. Oh, so well done. I love it. That's so well done. I'm very happy with that. Then a few other things. The fight scenes, both with Luke and the Jonathan fight scene, so well choreographed. They weren't like amazing, and I've said it before. Shadowhunters is fucked up on some choreography scenes for sure. Like the one always sticks out in my mind is the flashback with Clara's mum, Jocelyn, and Valentine. That was poor. That was poor just because it cut so many times. But this was just like nice long shots. You could see the action. You could see what was happening. There wasn't an overabundance of slow motion. Jonathan's almost touched on there being too much slow motion, but I don't mind it when it's like, when you get slow motion for like half a second and then it speeds back up again or something. That's not too bad. Teen Wolf's problem is it's like they'll do one punch and they'll be like that, and it'll just be like 5 minutes of that, and then they'll do a second punch and be like, you know what I mean? Whereas this, at least it's like they'll slow motion get punch it, and then it'll just speed back up straight away. So it didn't annoy me too much with the slow motion, but it was like touching on that line of it being too much. So like I say, it wasn't like an amazing fight scene, but they were just well choreographed for a TV show. So I like that. So Luke's fight scene and Jonathan's fight scene. I loved the scene where Clary figured out that Jonathan was Sebastian, or Sebastian was Jonathan, whatever. And she went to like hold his hand, and when she did the rune on the glass and like busted through to get out, oh, that was so good. That was so smooth. So I'm glad she figured that one out, and I'm glad they all know now. Because if they didn't figure out this episode, I would have been pissed off, because it's like, okay, it's been kind of long, it's dragging out now, but it didn't. It didn't get to that point of dragging out, so I'm happy with that. And then finally, actually my second favourite part of this entire episode, first being Alec Magnus, Maya, fantastic. Like her talking about how she got the scratch down her neck. Because I have always wondered about that. I knew that's like how she got turned into a wolf, but it's nice to hear her talk about, because everyone else in the show, we've seen what happens to them. We've seen how they've become. Like even with Alec and Izzy and Jace, like we saw flashbacks of them as teenagers. But Maya, we've never really had her talk about her backstory at all, apart from Luke finding her when she first turned. So it was cool to get that like backstory about her boyfriend who became obsessive with her, and he obviously got jealous that she found a new boyfriend, and then scratched her out, pure salt. But yeah, I was like almost tearing up in that scene. I was like, yo. So she was fantastic. I loved Maya. You guys know, I was kind of unsure on her for a long time, but these past quite a few episodes actually, I'd say 5 episodes, she's been one of my favorite characters. She might be in my top five actually. I really have to think about it, but she's probably in my top five. And her and Simon, I actually ship them. I think they're great. We'll see, but I think they're great. Oh, everything about this episode just worked. Apart from those little two things, which is very annoying. This would have got a 10 out of 10 if it wasn't so in your face about Jonathan's right there and they're talking about him. It's like, okay, we get it. And this kid who's being clawed up, and I'm sure he'll become like a main character or whatever now, but I don't care. So yeah, other than that though, this is my favorite episode. The highest episode I've given a Shadowhunters so far is a 9.2 out of 10, I believe. This one's gonna get a 9.6 out of 10. 9.6 out of 10. Yeah. I want to give it a 10, but I just can't just because of those little things. Like it's unfortunate. But yeah, 9.6 out of 10. Absolutely fantastic. I loved it. I loved it. Like I knew it was going to be a good episode anyway because you guys have spoke about it so much. Like no spoilers, thankfully. We just like, oh, it's so good. It's like my favorite, and then threw me off guard. I knew it was going to be like Alec and Magnus based because why else would everyone love it so much? But I didn't think they'd break up. I didn't expect the flashbacks at all either, and I didn't expect them to work so well into the main story. Because a lot of shows, it's like they just give you flashbacks just to have flashbacks and add up time. Whereas this, it's never really done flashbacks before. It's done flashbacks before, but I mean like that. Flashbacks of characters and technically scenes that we've seen before but haven't really seen before. So it just worked so well, and yeah, I'm really happy with that. That's the best episode so far. Absolutely loved that. That was fantastic. Right, guys, thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. And like I say, a link to the Patreon page will be down below, as well as Twitter and Instagram if you want to check those out, and Discord if you want to join that. And yeah, I'll see you next time for episode 19. Until then, peace.